And now a message from the ladies of Epsilon Pi Omega. Please describe your initial breast cancer treatment journey.
After I had a lumpectomy in 2008, my prescribed treatment was radiation. And during that time, a study was being conducted to see if having radiation twice a day for 5 days was just as effective as having radiation once a day, 5 days a week for 6 weeks. If you were to be placed in a group, that was done through lottery. So I was hoping and praying that I would be placed in the group that would experience radiation twice a day for 5 days. And I was so fortunate because that is the assignment that I was given.
When I was sent to the doctor, who was a very conscientious and kind man, he assured me, he made me feel more positive about what I was doing, and he made me realize that because of the advances in cancer, I did not have to have a mastectomy. I just needed to have a lumpectomy, and I was crying and whatnot, and he was wonderful. But I came through that. Why? Because I had a wonderful family behind me, I had wonderful support, and I had a great doctor.
There had been a history of breast cancer in my family, starting with my great uncle. I remember when I was a little girl, he was diagnosed in his 80s with breast cancer, as well as my grandmother, his sister, in her 80s. And at the time, there was no connection with males having breast cancer. But when I discovered my lump, the physicians decided and the oncologist decided to do the testing, the BRCA2 testing, or just the BRCA test in general. And it turned out that I did have BRCA2 and it's hereditary. So knowing my history, doing the self-examinations, and I suggest that everyone know their history and continue with self-examinations.
What have you learned as a breast cancer survivor that you would like to share with others?
When I found out that I had breast cancer, I had no problem with sharing with my family, of course, and with friends also. As a result of sharing with my friends, they began to share with me. One of my dear friends told me that radiation for the breast could cause tanning, and if so, I should buy aloe, pure aloe, for that would help to bring my natural color back. Well, I did experience tanning. I did buy pure aloe, I did apply it, and my natural color was restored. Another dear friend belonged to an organization that was focusing on breast cancer. She gave me several books which really served to be very valuable for me.
Keep up on going to the doctors. Make sure that you keep those appointments. And also reach out to friends, family, church members, neighbors. There are a lot of people, men and women, that are going through breast cancer and the treatment. And you'd be surprised how many people, maybe they're not going through it themselves, but have had members of their family. There's a lot of support out there. And there are a lot of women that are willing to help, willing to guide, give you advice, and help you through this very trying, difficult phase that you may go through if you are detected to have breast cancer.
Bring me through the ending of this, when I came through all the medication, and I realized I had to be aware of what kind of cancer I had to be aware of what I needed to eat or could not eat because of it. I had to be aware of surrounding myself with positivity, with people who would help me, and my wonderful daughters, to this day. They brought me through this as they did their father, who had cancer at the same time.
My really strong advice is, if you're not comfortable with the doctor that you have, change your doctor. I did not like the doctor that I had. I had done a lot of research, and when he was discussing the path that we would take, I was looking at my husband, and we went out to the car, and I'm like, that stuff is old. Look at the pamphlets he gave us. They're 15 years old. And I did some calling around and talked to some people I know in the medical profession. And they told me that what he says wasn't wrong, but it was minimal standard of care. That's a phrase they use in the medical profession. So then I went about looking for an oncologist at a teaching hospital, who was up to date on all of the newest research. I looked for a surgeon who only did breast cancer, nothing else. And then she, of course, put me, because I had to have reconstructive surgery, she put me in touch with a plastic surgeon, because that's who does the reconstructive surgery, who only did breast cancer reconstruction. And I had to fight with my insurance company, but in New York State, you are entitled to whatever you want to. It's just your insurance company might, dig their heels in, but if you keep pushing for what you want and for the best possible care you can get out there, you will get it. But you do have to be prepared to fight. So, and that's what I did. So I was very happy with my treatment.
How do you maintain wellness for yourself?
Being able to share with family and friends was wonderful because it gave me the opportunity to gain information. And in addition to that, I then had support as I went through this experience that certainly was unexpected and troublesome indeed.
Muscle strength isn't there. My energy levels seem to wane at different times. So I've had to just remember to keep moving. I started doing a lot of water exercises, running in the water aerobics, swimming, a variety of different things, just to keep that muscle strength going.
I've recently started doing yoga, and I actually find that very stress relieving. I wish I was doing yoga when I had my full-time job. That would have helped me tremendously. Another thing that I do is when I used to exercise regularly, and I'm getting back to that, walking really relieves stress. And also talking about your feelings, finding somebody that you can confide in so that you can get the whatever's bothering you out so that you can resolve it and move forward. But those are some of the things that I do.
Think positively. May God help you and bless you. And I thank Him for bringing me through these 20 years. Take care.
I wish you a speedy recovery, and I wish you the ability to be able to share as I did. And I also wish you well.
On behalf of the ladies of Epsilon Pi Omega chapter, thank you for watching and be well.